Hi, this is Irish Eyes True Crime.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Irish Eyes True Crime. I just want to give you an update on some stuff that I was looking back at, and obviously stuff that we know now, and I just wanted to share it with you. It's only going to be a short one, so don't worry. So I'll just get right into it. I found the article of the strange fishermen and the witness who had seen these strange fishermen the day before Nicola disappeared, and one of them the next morning, the day Nicola disappeared. And he spoke to the Irish Sun News. This was posted on the 12th of February. And I think he went to the paper because the police didn't seem to be interested in what he had to say. A witness who saw two men acting suspiciously near missing Nicola Bulley's dog walking route told the Sun last night they were trying to hide their faces. The local said the pair were carrying fishing rods and appeared to be wearing hats or hoods, which obscured their faces. He added, "It was very strange. It made me uneasy." The man, who does not want to be named, contacted police but claimed they took 9 days to get back to him and take his statement. The witness said, "I first saw the men at around 7:45 a.m. on my way to work on the Thursday, the day before Nicola Bulley vanished. I drive that way every day, so know the road well. I saw two men wearing dark clothing and hoods or hats and carrying fishing rods. They could have been just two normal fishermen, and if I had seen their faces, I probably wouldn't have thought anything of it. But I remembered that they seemed to want to hide their faces, which struck me as odd. It wasn't particularly cold that day, it was quite mild, so their behaviour to me seemed strange. At first I thought they must be poachers. You do get poachers on the river, and they don't want to be seen. Obviously at that moment a woman hadn't gone missing, so I didn't think anything of it. The following day, the witness said he was driving through the village again and spotted one of the men, this time closer to the bridge. He recalled it was around the same time, 7:45 a.m. This time it was just a glimpse, but I definitely saw one of them. I think I saw the second man, who was way ahead of the other, but I have been going over the lot in my mind and I couldn't swear my life on it. That's about the second one. Again, the man I saw was carrying a fishing rod and covering his face. The witness said the men did not seem to have a tackle box or bait box, which he found odd. He went on, "I was away all weekend, so I only heard about Nicola Bulley going missing on Sunday. I saw the police were appealing for information, and it struck me that I should tell them what I had seen, so I rang them on the Monday." The witness said no one called him back, so he followed up on the Friday. He called again on the Monday, a week after his first call. He said, "I couldn't understand it. There's a woman missing. I've seen these men in the area. Why haven't they called me?" Then they called me back last Wednesday and took all the info. It's frustrating. It would have been much better if I had been spoken to straight away, as it was fresher in my mind. So it took the police 9 days to get back to that man. And it took them 2 weeks after Nicola disappeared to talk to the local angling club to see who was ticketed to be in that area that day. Now, we know from my previous video that a local angler had said there was nobody fishing there that day. There wouldn't be anybody fishing there. That he can guarantee that there was no one fishing there that day. So at 8:33, Richard Fife was captured on the top of Allotment Lane on CCTV. Just before that, he had seen another man in black. And he must have been avoiding the cameras because he wasn't captured on the cameras at the top of that road. So he must have been slightly down a bit, maybe against the bushes. So that means there was at least 2 to 3 men in black there that morning, close to where Nicola had disappeared. And police tried to hide that fact. All trying to hide their faces, and witnessed by 2 different men. Also, you have another 2 witnesses that spotted a shabby red van on Hall Lane at 9:40 a.m. You also have the tree surgeon that rents out that shed on Hall Lane where the van was parked. He came forward and said there would be no reason for a red van to be parked there. It doesn't belong to anybody he knew. And the only reason it would be there is if they were stealing something or they were up to no good. And there was nothing in that shed to steal, only piles of timber. And I've showed you the video of that already that Curtis had taken on one of his walks of the area. And the only reason the police mentioned anything about the fishermen at the time, and we know by even the way Rebecca Smith spoke about it, she didn't find fishermen very suspicious. It was because the witness felt like he had to go to the newspapers to get their attention about it. Like, these are the things they wonder why so many people gets involved in this case. And in lots of other cases now at this stage. So that's why they appeal for the fishermen to come forward. It's not like they wanted to. It's they had to. But obviously we know they didn't come forward. But we also know now that the police didn't put out a request for the man in black that Richard Fife had seen to come forward, as Richard Fife didn't kind of fight them on that. Like the anonymous witness who did go to the papers because he felt like the police weren't listening to them about the 2 strange fishermen and the other one the next day. So that means anyway that there were strange men on both entrances to that field. And that can't be a coincidence. And a red van parked on Hall Lane in a secluded spot right beside the river where Nicola was last seen. So I think the man in black on the top of Allotment Lane was doing lookout to make sure everyone had left the field for Nicola to be on her own. And I believe at least 1 to 2 were already in the field at this stage, or the surrounding area of the field, hiding in bushes, waiting for their opportunity. So the last person to see Nicola alive was Claire Chesham, and she's seen her last at 9:10 a.m. But during her walk at some stage, she said she heard Willow barking and saw her at some bushes, but she didn't see Nicola at that stage. So whatever Willow was barking at, she doesn't know. She said she had been there and didn't see anything herself. So for these people, these men in black, to abduct Nicola, they had at least 20 minutes to get the phone back to the bench and place the harness where it was. And they would have took her over the river and across to the back of that where the red van was parked and take her away. They wouldn't have even needed that 20 minutes to do all that. They would have, the minute they got out over that river and into that field, they wouldn't have been seen. It explains why Nicola's steps weren't counted, and very short amount of steps at that, for the last few steps that she had. They were a lot shorter than the previous ones, because she was being carried. Keith Barlow didn't leave Rowan Water till 9:35. I found that in an article. Everything that happened to Nicola happened in the area of the very top of the field. The blood that was found by the TikTokers was in the upper field. Police didn't want to know about it, as it was TikTokers that found it, and it showed them up because they didn't find it. Everything's starting to make sense now, even with Willow's behaviour. It's like she was standing there beside the items because she just didn't know where to go. She was probably threatened by whoever them men were. So we have to think of some possible motives for this. First one, something sadistic. I don't want to get into something like that, but it has to cross your mind. Next one, she knew something about these people and they wanted to shut her up. Next, a ransom gone wrong. And then we have to think about the possibility that somebody paid them to do this. And no matter what way you look at it, it was planned and premeditated. I'm going to leave it there for now, as I want to get working on my next video. I just wanted to give you an update and some thoughts. Please let me know what you think. Have you that feeling as well? I believe there's a murderer on the loose and police have covered it up. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.